You talk about, never heard you talk about you staying with your grandma and grandpa.
Yeah, we would go on weekends up there where they lived in Gainesville at the train station. And they lived in a Quonset house like we had in Guinea.
Really? Huh. I didn't even know they had those in America.
Yeah.
And you said it was one room?
Yeah.
And you and Mary slept on the floor?
Yeah. We had I can't remember what we did while we were there, but we had a good time.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to move this up.
Oh, no.
All right. What else do you remember about your grandma and grandpa? And that's Joe Pruitt and Minnie Mosier, right?
Yeah. Well, I remember that they would come to see us in the country. We lived in the country then. And,
was that New Holland or Flowery Branch or what?
it was just, no, it was near Flowery Branch. We lived in Flowery Branch some too, right at the train track. And there was a creek in back of our house. And we all went to that one summer. And I don't know if Bill was with us or not, but Fletcher was with us. And he saved me out of the ground.
Goodness.
In that creek.
How old were you?
I wasn't in school.
So, 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 or 5 years old.
I remember going to school with Mary. She was maybe in 2nd grade, I don't know. And the teacher gave me a little ceramic pig.
Like a piggy bank?
Not a piggy bank. It was just
a little decoration.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did you like your pig?
I did, but I guess it got broke. I've never seen it.
What was your first school? What was the name of the school?
Well, I remember school was, started school in what was the name of that town?
One of the places I know you lived were Gillsville. Or did you live in Gillsville?
I didn't know.
Never. What about Flowery? I know you lived in Flowery Branch.
Mm-hmm.
Later on, you lived in Hapeville. Did you ever live in New Holland?
No.
You had a lot of
we
family.
visited there a lot.
You had a lot of family in New Holland. You had a lot of family in New Holland.
Yes, all of Daddy's people lived there. And during the war, we took vegetables and chicken and eggs to them.
To your family in New Holland.
Mm-hmm.
So, because you had stuff from the farm.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. And then Daddy and Fletcher and Bill went to Virginia to work in the defense plant. And while they were there, Bill and Fletcher joined the Navy. Fletcher lied about his age. He was 15 and told him he was 17.
Yeah.
And they let him in.
I guess they took everybody they could get.
Yeah, that was bad war.
So when all the men were gone, so who took care of everything? Your mom, Minnie?
Yeah.
And what about?
Daddy moved us, bought a house in Gainesville, and Daddy moved us there. And I remember going to First Baptist Church in April to the Brownies, which was part of the Scouts.
And now that was in Hapeville or what?
No,
in Gainesville.
Gainesville.
First Baptist, Gainesville.
And I remember Grandpa, after Grandma died, Grandpa lived with us there for a while, and he would slip away and go up near to the cemetery, to Grandma's grave. He could climb up a big, there was a road that went to the cemetery up there. And I remember one time he left and didn't tell anybody. And Mama sent me and Mary to find him. And he was sitting there.
Well, that's kind of sad.
And we went and there.
That's all right. We'll get something else.
Oh, that's a sweet picture.
That is, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel posted that the other day. Yeah. So tell me more about when you were a little girl.
I was a little girl.
Tell me about, okay, so you said the first elementary school that you went to was what? Oh, and the other thing, Joel.
I couldn't think of the name.
She told me that she almost drowned in the creek and Fletcher saved her life.
See, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. This is when they lived in the country and there was a creek at the bottom.
No, it was in Flowery Branch.
Flowery Branch. Were you visiting?
No, our house
That was your house.
It was behind that house.
All righty. Well, tell me something else.
Tell you something else.
Tell me about, you said you went to First Baptist Church?
Yeah.
In Gainesville?
No, in Flowery Branch.
First Baptist Church, Flowery Branch. Oh,
I
you
went
said you were
to-
in the Brownies.
Oh, well, that was in Gainesville.
Okay.
That was
You were in the Brownies.
after we moved to the city, yeah. Yeah,
So,
I did. But I don't remember if it was the First Baptist Church or the Presbyterian Church.
probably the Presbyterian Church.
I don't know. I just thought of that. I don't know. But anyway.
But you were in the Brownies.
Yeah, I was in the Brownies.
You just 1 year or what? How many?
Oh, no, I think a couple of years.
Did you have fun?
And we didn't have a car when we lived in Gainesville. We had to walk, and I had to walk a long way to school. But that's when I got appendicitis, and I lost a lot of school time.
Did you have an operation? Did they take it out?
No, it ruptured in me. And I didn't even know that until I had you. And Dr. Turntine told me.
Oh, doggone. So you had your appendix ruptured when you were a child. That must have made you very, very sick.
It did. I was sick, and I said I was out of school for a long time. Yeah.
But it didn't keep you from advancing?
I think it did.
Oh, really? Did you have to skip a grade?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, what else happened when you were a little girl? I know you spent a lot of time with your grandpa and grandma.
Well,
Tell me about your cousins.
well, let's see.
Did you have your cousins nearby when you were living in Gainesville?
No, No. Well, I lived in New Holland,
They lived
which
in
is
New Holland.
outside of Gainesville in a way.
And you told me that y'all carried food to the people in New Holland in the war when times were hard.
Yeah. When that was when we lived on the farm, though.
Yeah. How old were you then?
I wasn't in school.
You wasn't in school, so that was before school.
Mm.
All right. What'd you do in elementary school?
Elementary school.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't remember anything outstanding. Except I went to College Street Elementary School in Gainesville.
Okay.
And had to walk a long way.
So you went there through 8th grade?
No.
Through what grade?
No. I don't remember.
When did you move to Hapeville? Wait, did you go to high school in Flowery Branch?
No. After we moved to Gainesville, I'll tell you this, at night, when the lights come on the street, all the kids on the street would get out and play ball or dodgeball or something.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, all of them though, big and older and littler. And that was nice.
It was kind of that way when we were in school, and sometimes we played outside under the street lights.
Yeah.
When did you move to Hapeville? Was that your next move? Was from Gainesville to Hapeville?
Mm-hmm.
How old were you? I know you're pretty small because I have pictures of you and Grandpa.
I went to 2 grades in Gainesville.
Mm-hmm.
No, Gainesville. In Hapeville.
Hapeville. 2 grades in elementary school in Hapeville.
Uh-huh. And we moved on Highway 41 just across the street from the Ford Company.
Okay.
And we just rented part of a house. People owned the house, lived in the back part, and we lived in the front.
And what was your daddy doing at that time?
He was still in
the defense plant? No.
No. He was a fireman.
He was a fireman. All right. Now, was that when there was the fire downtown at the Winecoff Hotel? And Grandpa?
No, at first he was a fireman at the naval base.
Okay.
And then he was a fireman at Fort.
Fayetteville?
In Gainesville, in Hapeville.
Yeah.
And then he was a fireman at that army base there. What is it? Fort
McPherson or Fort?
Yeah, Fort
McPherson.
Mm-hmm. Then he was a fireman there.
Do you remember the fire at the hotel?
I remember Daddy going, and he was gone for about 2 days.
Okay. I can't remember if it was you or somebody else told me that Grandma Minnie was listening to the radio when, as they told about the fire, that Grandpa was fighting. But,
Yeah, that was me.
yeah.
I don't remember that.
I think it might have been Bill.
Okay.
But this is the Winecoff fire,
Mm-hmm.
which is one of the
biggest
losses of life in hotel fire in American history.
Mm-hmm.
So after you moved to Hapeville, did you go to high school in Hapeville?
No, I was in 6th and 7th grade when we were living there.
Okay.
And we moved when we moved to West End while I was in 7th grade.
Oh, okay. And then we know you were at West End from there on out.
Yes.
Okay. So, which high school did you go to?
Joe Brown.
Joe Brown High School.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Who were your friends?
I had a lot of friends. But when I was going to school there was when I met your daddy.
Now, you were in high school when you met Daddy?
Mm-hmm.
What year in high school were you?
I don't remember what
He was robbing the cradle, wasn't he?
No.
Show me your teeth.
How many years apart are you?
4.
4. Well, you could have been in high school. Were you in high school?
Huh?
Were you in high school?
I was.
At
Yes.
Joe Brown?
Mhm.
You had to be a senior then.
Yeah.
This is GQ.
Well, I met him in the summer of my last year.
Summer of your senior year. Or the summer before you went to your senior year. The summer between your junior year and your senior year.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So was he
We
was...
met on the 4th of July. A friend that worked at Rich's with me introduced us.
Well, y'all went on a blind date, didn't you?
Yes, we did.
Right. Where'd you go on your blind date?
I don't remember that.
You
I know we went to her house, but I don't know if we went somewhere else or we stayed there all day or night. I don't know.
And was he in the Air Force at that time?
No, he was out.
He had just gotten out.
He'd just gotten out a little bit before. But he was working at Lockheed.
He was working at Lockheed.
Mm-hmm.
That must have been like 1950?
Yeah, 51 maybe.
50 or 51.
Mm-hmm.
But what'd you think of him?
Well, I thought he was pretty nice.
Not to say, must have been pretty good because you got a second date.
Got a lot of dates, yeah. He would come to the school and pick me up. I got out early because I was working at Rich's. And he would come and pick me up and take me to work before he went to work. He was working on a swing shift.
What did you do at Rich's?
I was cashier.
Cashier, what department?
I was in all departments. Just
They just
where
moved
they
you,
moved,
moved you around.
Mhm.
That was,
Then I was in gift wrapping
yeah.
for a while.
What do you remember about Rich's? What did you like?
Oh,
or
I
what did
liked
you-
everything about Rich's.
Oh, did you?
Mm-hmm.
That was now this is the Rich's downtown?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And I rode the trolley downtown and rode it back home at about 9:30.
9:30 at night?
Yeah.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And back then, nobody would have been worried about you being safe.
No. No. Uh-uh. It wasn't a trolley then, though. It didn't run on the electric.
Oh, okay. Well, if it didn't run on electricity, what did it run on?
Bus. It was.
It was a bus.
Well, they had some that ran on the
Electric.
and then some that
Had
didn't.
gas that ran on. Okay. So you and Daddy, what did you have any interesting dates? Anything you remember where y'all went out? Did he take you to the movies?
Yeah, yeah.
You remember any of the movies you saw?
Well, I think that we went downtown to see Gone with the Wind.
Really?
Yeah. At the Fox Theater.
Now, was that when it opened?
I don't know when or what, how long it was after we started dating.
All right. Joel, you're leaving?
Yeah, that's why I need your teeth to move your teeth.
We're good?
Good.
All right. All righty. Well, so how long did y'all date?
Well, I met him in July, and we married the next March.
So less than a year.
And I didn't graduate.
Yo, you never graduated high
I
school?
never did.
I forgot. I had never asked that. You did not graduate high school. Because you got married. Now, so did you get married before you were due to graduate, or were you just so distracted by?
No. I married in March, and I would have graduated if I made it in May.
Okay, but
We promised that.
But you married in March. And so
We
you were
promised
due to
Daddy and
graduate in
Mama.
May.
I promised Daddy and Mama that I would go to school and graduate, but I never
You never did. Did that cause any problems when you tried to
No.
go to college?
No.
Oh, doggone. They didn't insist on you having a high
Yeah.
school diploma. That was at Tennessee, and the only place you went to college was Tennessee Temple, right?
Mm-hmm. I didn't go to college. Went to Bible school.
Okay.
Hey.
Hey, Emily. All righty. Well, we'll pause it for now. Oh.
John, my grandfather, Joe P. Pruitt, your great-grandfather, went to the, this is what I've heard all my life, went to the Cherokee people and chose a wife. He was married Jane Mosier. And he was in the textile
Worked in a textile mill?
Yeah, he was
Oh, okay. He was a manager or a supervisor?
not the manager, but
Supervisor.
maybe a supervisor. And they sent him to Gainesville, Georgia, or New Holland, Georgia, to a factory here to work. And he came, and
they were living when?
They were living in cow pens,
South Carolina.
And so they sent him here, and I don't know how long he was here, but he was here a long time, and he was living with a woman from here. And his wife, his Cherokee wife, in
Cow pens.
Yeah, cow pens got where he hadn't sent for her, and then she was mad, and so she filled the wagon full of stuff and put her children in the wagon. There was my mother. My mother was the firstborn, and her brother Joe, named after Grandpa, in the wagon. And she came in, I don't know when, I don't know the date, but she came all the way from South Carolina to New Holland, Georgia, with 2 children and her belongings, I guess. And I don't think she could bring them all, but anyway, she came, and she found him living with this woman, and she broke it up, and she stayed.
So,
and he never got back with that woman. I don't know how long they'd been living together, but anyway.
she came back and straightened him out.
Yeah, she did.
Good for her.
Yeah, and in a wagon.
In a wagon.
In the early 1900s.
All right. So, and she had a big birthmark on her face?
Yeah, she had a big birthmark, red birthmark on one side of her face. I don't know.
Yeah, we have a photo. Yeah, we have a photo that has it in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
we've got another photo where she covers it up with powder.
yeah. Well, she probably did when she was going to have her picture made. But anyway, they lived together in New Holland.
Yeah.
And
So they just reestablished their home there. You remember anything else about your grandmother?
my grandmother, I know that she petted me every time I came to see her because Mary, my sister, and I are the only girls in the family.
All right.
But I was so young, she never talked about her former life.
Yeah.
And I never questioned it because I was too young to be interested in it.
Did she like to cook you food or anything like that?
She always had me candy, like the sugar.
Yeah. Hard candy?
Peppermint candy.
Peppermint sticks. Yeah. All right. What else do you remember from when you were a little girl?
Well, I remember one time sweet potatoes came into, we were living in the country, out in Gainesville, and sweet potatoes came in, and I ate so many raw sweet potatoes that my stomach hurt. So Daddy and Mama put me in bed with them, and I threw up
all over them and the bed.
Yeah.
From eating raw sweet potato.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've ever eaten a raw sweet potato, but you must have liked it.
I liked it, I guess, because I ate it.
All right. What do you remember from living in Hapeville or your early days in the West End?
Well, Daddy was a fireman then. He had the war was over, and we came to Atlanta, and he got a job doing firefighting.
Was that a big change moving from the country to the big city?
Well, no. It wasn't that big in Hapeville at that time.
Yeah, it was a small town.
Mm-hmm. But we lived with another family. We lived in the front of the house, and they lived in the back. And they were elderly, and they were sweet. And but we all had to use the same bathroom. And I remember that Daddy got me. I was young. Daddy got me a squirrel.
A pet squirrel?
It was going to be a pet squirrel. And I was enjoying it and everything, but it bit me.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it bit me, and then the squirrel was gone. It was a pet.
Yeah.
That was when the boys were still in service.
Yeah.
And I just thought they were the most wonderful boys in the world. Coming home with their uniforms on and everything.
Yeah, coming from the Navy.
Uh-huh. And Bill met Lou.
Mm-hmm.
Lou met us. And, well, first, I had her writing to him when he was in the Navy.
Oh.
And then when he came home, they married. So he didn't live with us too long after he came home.
So did you knew Lou before they were? How did you know Lou?
Okay, Lou was working across the railroad track. That house in Hapeville had a railroad track in the road and then the railroad track. and she was working in a lumber company. And she had been out of school, I think, a year or two. And she was living with a man, not living with them, she was living with a family, I'd say. And she and another girl from Meadows, Georgia.
Well, Meadows is your last name. Anyway, somewhere.
Okay. Yeah, and she was boarding with them last week, working. And then he came home.
And you got Lou to start writing the bill.
Yeah, I got him to start writing the bill.
Well, little Miss Matchmaker. Tell me about when you accepted Christ.
Okay. I went to First Baptist Church, and
Which one?
in Hapeville.
So it's First Baptist
And it
Hapeville.
was a long walk there.
Yeah.
But my school was near it, so I was used to going to school. And we had no buses then, school buses. We had to walk, and I went there. My family didn't go. Sometimes Mary went with me, but lots of times it was just me. And there wasn't that much traffic back then.
Yeah.
So I had to cross the railroad track and go up a street. And anyway, I started going there, and I enjoyed going. And we had back then they called it tractor meetings, but it was a special preaching week. And the preacher, I can't remember his name right now. I knew it for so long, and he even married us. Barron was his last name. And he invited the head of the, I think he was the head of church, Christ. No, not the.
Somebody up in the denomination?
No, it was a man that was head of a youth group.
Youth group. Not Youth for Christ, but something else.
Yeah, I think it was Youth for
Youth
Christ.
for Christ,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, thank you. And so he had meetings, and one of his meetings I went down to be saved.
Mm-hmm.
I was saved. And then he was speaking on missions a few days later, and I went down saying I wanted to be a missionary. And I went home, told Mom and Daddy, and they said, "Oh no, you're not going to a foreign country without us. No. Get that out of your mind. Get that out of your mind."
How old were you?
Oh, I guess I was about 11 or 12.
11 or 12. All right.
But I didn't get it out of my mind. But anyway, I didn't live that close to the war. I can say that. I don't remember ever reading the Word of God.
When you were
when I
little,
was that
that
young,
young.
yeah.
It wasn't until you were older.
Uh-huh.
All right.
So anyway, that's and when we were living in that house, Mary started dating Dulcie Rainwater. He just came back from the service, and she started dating him. She was already engaged to a boy in Gainesville, but he went away.
All right.
She chose for Dulcie. And that was quite a thing for me, because when she married, I was the only girl home, and I missed her a lot. And they had a small apartment on Stewart
Avenue?
Stewart Avenue in Hapeville. And well, she had not graduated from high school. I think she was in 11th grade, and then she quit and got married. But anyway,
So when Dawson came back from service, did he live nearby?
well, they lived in Hapeville. Yeah. His daddy had died when he was early, so his mother had raised him. And she was a school teacher, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, Daddy decided to buy a home. We were renting, and Daddy decided to buy a home. And he bought this new home on Stewart Avenue. Well, that was near where Mary was living, so I was happy then. And we met a lot of the people, and I don't know why, but Lou and Grace came and lived in a house near our house, and that was before they got married. But this house on Stewart Avenue was big, and it was nice, and it had a full basement. Well, we lived there, I don't know for how long, but Bill got married while we were living there. And they moved near there too, so that was nice. And Fletcher had gone back to school. He had graduated, and he went back to school. And I don't know how he met his wife.
Ruth.
Michael, it's her last name. And anyway, at Christmas time they got married. So we lived there for a couple of years, and then Daddy bought a house in West End. And I was in 7th grade then.
So you were in 7th grade when you moved to the house on Culberson Street?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so he rented the upstairs apartment upstairs to some different people. And we had the downstairs. And we had gas, and we had running water though. And well,
Tell me what happened when you used your left hand in school.
they never tried to stop me. Daddy told them not to. He said, do not change her handwriting, because I was changed when I went to school, and I never could write hardly good.
In other words, using your right hand, you couldn't.
No, he couldn't. He said after they changed my hand of writing, I could not write
Oh,
good.
so I did not know that Lon was left-handed.
Well, he was, and they changed him.
They made him use the other hand.
Uh-huh. And he was determined that they would not change me.
Good.
And it's good because I was good in writing.
Yeah, you've always had beautiful penmanship.
Yeah, I had A all my life in penmanship. Yeah. So anyway, we lived there a good many years, and I went to Joe Brown High School. Well, I first went to College Street Elementary School. And
Then you went to Joe Brown,
then I went to Joe Brown.
but you did graduate because you met Daddy and got married.
Yeah, that's right. That's my last year of high school.
You remember any of your dates with Daddy?
Not me, yeah.
Did you go anywhere that you remember?
Just to drive-in movies.
Drive-in movies?
Usually drive-in movies.
Which drive-in did y'all go to? Where was it at? Was it close?
No, it wasn't. I think it was on one of the main streets.
So Daddy had to drive you.
Memorial Drive.
Memorial Drive, all the ways.
Mm-hmm.
So Daddy was driving, I guess. What kind of car did he drive back then?
He had a Chevrolet.
He had a Chevrolet.
And it was 4-door. And green.
Well, I know he had a couple of them. He had I think a 55 Chevy later, but
that was brand new. We bought it brand new.
But
and paid $2,000 something for it.
Yeah, that was a lot of money, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was back then, yeah. But we saved it up and saved it. And well, we drove that car until we went to school. Or did we take it to school? No, we took it to school.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then we went to Tennessee Temple in 1957.
Yeah.
And Daddy was taking Bible, and I wasn't going to go to school, but we met this wonderful person, Cam Thompson, and he was a prayer warrior, and he told Daddy, he said, now, is Margaret going to school? And he said, no, we're not planning on it. And he said, well, if she don't go to school, I don't know if you can go to the mission field, because the wife has to have training too with the mission boards. And he said, oh, we didn't know that. So I never got a job. I was promised a job, but then I didn't get it, and so I started school.
And so now Bible school. Now, is this at Tennessee Temple?
Yeah.
All right. And so you were at Tennessee Temple from what years?
1957 to 1959.
1959. Now, did you actually graduate and get your diploma?
No, I did not.
Okay, but you took.
You had to go to Bible school 3 years, and I only went 2.
And you went 2. So well, today you might have been qualified for an associate's degree, but at any rate. But Daddy went 4, didn't he? Did he go 4 or 3?
He went 4.
4 years.
But he had 1 year here.
At the Atlanta Bible College? Is that it? Atlanta Bible College?
It was on Ponce de Leon.
Yeah. And the first place you lived after you got married, where was that? I know you got married in the living room of your house.
Right.
Of your house on Culberson Street.
And I didn't have a wedding gown. I had a suit.
A suit. You wore a nice suit.
And
we see it in the pictures. Yeah.
Yeah.
We see it in the pictures.
And
you were a pretty bride. You were.
But anyway, I didn't go through because we were planning to go to mission field. When we were here in Georgia before we went to school, Tennessee Temple, there was a man came to the college there from New Guinea to try to get people to come to New Guinea. And that was, in the 50s, and they just had 2 people killed.
Yeah. That was Erickson and Tripp.
Yeah.
Yeah. Teen missionaries who
died
near Monoquari.
Well, anyway, we went to the library and got books on it and started reading about it and praying, and Jim felt that was where we wanted to go. So I went. But now when I was thinking about missions, when I was saved, I was thinking about Africa, because that's the only one I'd heard about. See, because the Baptist convention had missionaries
In Africa. Yeah.
So that's the only ones I heard about. So I thought I should go to Africa. But I didn't want to go without him.
Yeah.
So I talked to him.
But you went to a place that was just as wild or wilder.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Tell me about when you were in school and Daddy got sick.
Oh yeah. Well, he got the measles, and I don't know how he got it. But anyway, they were going on around in school. So he got the measles, and he had to stay home. Okay, and we were living in a little cottage behind a couple's house, and he was one of the teachers at the school, Mr. Culberson. And so I would ride to school with him and come back with him. And because we lived a long way from school. And so he got these measles, and he wasn't allowed to go to school. So he was at school lying on the couch. He was studying. He'd been studying Greek, and then he got his Bible and started reading. And then that was when the Lord gave him that poem.
That poem, yeah.
About God feeding the birds.
Yeah.
And I can't remember it right now, but I know it.
Yeah. I used to know it by heart.
I did too.
Yeah. Oh, that's a different one that he used to quote. Yeah. What about, tell me about the spider.
The spider?
Yeah, there was a spider, jumping spider, that was crawling around and you squished it.
I don't remember that one.
Oh, well, Daddy told me that there was when he was lying in bed and couldn't go nowhere, there was a little jumping spider that he watched.
Yeah. Watched too. That.
Yeah.
And then he showed it to me, and I squished it. And he said, "No, that's not fair. I've been watching him. He's been keeping me company where he to go." Yeah,
made you cry. Tell me about, well, let's see. I was going to get you to talk to me about language school, but I guess I better get you to tell about me being born.
Well, we were married 6 years. And Daddy came, this is personal. Daddy came home from, Daddy and I had I had graduated. He graduated. He was honored at Tennessee Temple. But we came home.
And he worked at Embry-Riddle?
I think that. Well, first we lived in the basement of a house.
Yeah.
And I got sick. And I couldn't get well. And I just coughed and threw up and was just so sick. So finally, he took me to the doctor. And we went to Dr. Turntine, who used to live across the street from Mom and Daddy. And all our women have been to him for years. So we went to him, and he examined me. And then he said, "Margaret, you're pregnant." I said, "No." He said, "Yeah." Well, we had been to a doctor in East Atlanta also when I thought, we thought maybe I was pregnant, I wasn't. So Dad was not going to believe Dr. Turner, and I knew, because he knew that I wanted a baby, and he did too, and he didn't want to be disappointed. So I said to Dr. Turner, I said, well, will you tell Jim? He said, Margaret. I used to babysit for this doctor.
Yeah.
He said, Margaret, all wives want to tell their husbands that. I said, but he won't believe me. And I told him about the other time that I thought I was and I wasn't anyway. He said, well, if you won't do it, I will. So he brought Jim in there, and he said, well, you're going to be a father. He said, no. And he said, I don't think so. And he said, well, I don't think so. So he said, Dr. Turner said, well, if you don't think so, you're gonna find out pretty soon. He said, well, how about if we come back next month and you tell me? He said, well, you can do that, but I tell you, she is pregnant. And so I was so happy.
I thought Daddy asked him at one time maybe if you had a tumor, and he said.
Yeah. He did. I forgot about that. Yeah.
And he said if it's a tumor, we better operate because it's growing real fast.
Yeah, that's right. I remember that now. So we left, and I wanted to tell Mama and Mary because they had wanted me to have a baby. We'd been married a long time. And he said, no, you can't tell them. You got to wait and make sure. And I said, but Jim, they want to know, and I want them to know. And I started crying, and he said, okay, you can tell them, but you tell them that it may not be so.
Well, I guess it was, because here I am.
That's right.
So where were you living when I was born?
We was living on, I don't know the name of the street.
I know it was North Avenue at one time, and
Well,
Wadley Avenue at another time.
Wadley Avenue is where we married when we first got married. North Avenue was when we lived with the preacher and his wife, the Andersons.
Yeah.
But this was, I can't remember now what the street or name was. But it was in East Atlanta, near Ponce de Leon.
Yeah.
And
Might be on my birth certificate. I know Dad was working at Riddle Airlines at the time.
Well, anyway, I was sick for a good while. It kept throwing up, and I would wake up in the morning and I would be so thirsty, and I'd go get orange juice and that made me throw up. It was so bad. But anyway.
So I know at some point you said you were living with W.A. Anderson, and he was a pastor at that time.
No, he was a pastor.
Yeah.
But he was working for the Baptist
Denomination.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He was doing study courses.
Writing Sunday school materials.
Yeah.
So
But he was a nice fellow.
yeah, I remember him. I remember them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yep. So now tell me about when you had to go off to language school. Now, well, first of all, tell me how you decided to go with team as your mission.
Well, this man that came to the school talked about New Guinea. And we got all this information and prayed, and then we decided that.
Now, is that at Stewart Avenue?
No, I wasn't married to Stuart Avenue.
I thought you and Daddy were at Stewart Avenue Baptist Church for a while.
No.
Okay.
No, I was always at First Baptist in Hapeville.
First Baptist in Hapeville. Okay. And that's where you and Daddy were going to church?
No.
No. Well, I'm talking about when you and Daddy were going to church together.
We went to.
And when did you decide to go with Team, the Evangelical Alliance mission? When did you decide to pick that mission to go to the mission field?
School.
Went to school. Now, is that Tennessee Temple?
Yeah. They came. They had the school had a week of missions every year, and all the mission boards came and talked to the people that wanted to talk to them, and we talked to them. He liked their doctrines and their situation, so we decided to go with them.
And so when did you actually go into candidate school and start preparing for the mission field?
In 1961.
61, so I was 1 year old.
Yeah. You know, 1 year old. We'd sit on the couch and I'd read.
Oh, well, that must be why I've always been a reader.
Yeah, every day we read. And finally, you knew the story so well that I would stop and you would finish the story.
Is that the one about Peter Rabbit and Benjamin Bunny? Yeah.
Do you remember that? I know you don't know. You were just crawling. A little frog. Daddy came home from work at
Riddle Airlines?
Yeah, no.
No. Lockheed?
Okay. He was working on the morning shift then. He came on at 3:30, and there was a little frog outside. And he brought it in to you and set you on the floor, and you started crawling to catch that frog, and every time you get low, just jump. It was so cute.
Well, I don't remember very much that young. I think some of the earliest memories I have, I think y'all have told me about me sitting down in the mop bucket and getting stuck. I remember burying a little blue jay that died. We found a blue jay and we buried him in a shoebox in the backyard. That's one of the earliest things I remember. The other thing I remember is a little Sue bee honey figure that you got with a Sue bee honey and you put it on the edge of your glass or something like that. But that's about all I remember. Tell me about your going to language school.
Okay. We went to candidate school 1 year.
I got some pictures now. Doug Eager was in that class.
Huh? No, the candidate school, yeah. Well, when we went to candidate school, Luke kept you.
Yeah.
And they got real attached to you. And when we came home, we were there for a month. And we came home, you wouldn't come to me. And I cried.
Because I was attached
I
to
wanted
Aunt
to
Lou.
touch you, I just wanted to love you. And we wouldn't do it. But anyway, we drove night and day trying to get home to get to you.
What about going to Oklahoma?
Okay, now that's the next thing we did. So after we came home, I forgot where we were living. We might have been living in East Point.
Yeah, I think that you've talked about East Point.
Okay. Well, we used to ride you in the little red wagon down the road in East Point.
Now, I remember that. I remember being ridden around in the wagon. And I think later on, just before we went to New Guinea, I was actually carrying Joel in the wagon.
No, you weren't pulling it. You were in it with him.
I was in it with him. Okay. Well, I remember that little red wagon.
Yeah. And something else you were some kind of a gun.
Cap gun.
No.
Oh, the
green.
Mighty Mo.
Yeah.
Mighty Mo.
Oh, you love that. You got that.
Yeah.
You got that for Christmas.
Yeah, that was a toy cannon. I remember the Mighty Mo.
Yeah. Anyway, and then we had to go to language school. Daddy had to quit Lockheed.
Had to quit Lockheed.
Yeah. So he quit Lockheed, and we had to go for a month, and we were still going to the church over there in Atlanta. What was the name of that? I don't know. It was a Baptist church, and not W.A. Anderson, but a man named Anderson was the preacher there, and he was one of Daddy's teachers at the school.
That's Atlanta Bible College.
So he would he would let Daddy preach sometimes, and
you thinking of Loring Heights?
Yeah, Loring Heights. Yeah, like Loring Heights. Well, when you were born, the doctor was very careful. He would not let me leave the house because we lived upstairs.
Oh, yeah.
And there was a lot of steps. So I couldn't go to church the first time we were out of the hospital on Sunday. And I had to stay in the hospital for a week. But that was back then, but they don't do that now. But anyway, Daddy was going to church, and he wanted to take you. So we dressed you up pretty, and he took you, and he wore your diaper pin as a tie pin. And he had you in that church, and everybody was just crazy. They thought you were the most precious thing.
That was at Loring Heights.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember that church very well. So now, when you went to Oklahoma to language school, and
it was the next summer after we went to the candidate school.
Yeah, and this was SIL, Summer Institute of Linguistics, right? And you studied with Indians. I'm trying to remember the tribe, Kiowa. Kiowa Indians.
Right.
Dad told me he could only remember one word of Kiowa, and that was Overhaul, which means it's finished. It's all done.
And he put a big
Overhaul.
sign on our car.
And we have pictures of you and Daddy dressed up in Kiowa gear,
Yeah.
where they dressed you up. Yeah, it's up on the wall.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, and while you were at language school, where was I?
Okay, you were with Mr. and Mrs.
Thompson?
No, wait not. I can't remember their name, but they're both dead now. But anyway, they got attached to you. They just loved you so much. So they asked us if they could keep you, and we said yeah. And so they kept you, and then in the summer, on their vacation, they brought you to Oklahoma to see her.
And I was what, like a year and a half? Yeah.
No, maybe not quite a year.
Well,
I don't know.
yeah.
Well, it has to be over a year because Lou first kept you when we went to Kansas school. The next year, well, you might have been 2 years old. They gave you your birthday party.
Yeah. I think we might have pictures of it.
And they took their vacation and brought you out to see them. And that was so sweet. There's Tom, and I can't remember.
Cleo. No?
Yeah, Cleo. Tom and Cleo. Oh, what is it, Margaret? Oh.
Holcomb. Yeah. Holcomb. Oh, okay. I remember it. I remember being in their house.
Yeah.
So, Joel was born.
Well, he wasn't born then.
No, I mean, a year or so later. How long after? Well, what happened between language school and Joel being born and us going to New Guinea?
Well, I got pregnant
Yeah.
when we lived in East Point.
Yeah.
And the mission was not, well, there was a war there with the Holland
Yeah, and Indonesia.
Indonesia. So they wouldn't let anybody come in. And then it stopped and we could have gone. But I was expecting Joel and we couldn't fly.
Yeah.
So we had to wait a year. And then in 1963 we went.
So you were
July.
were you living in East Point when Joel was born?
Yeah.
What was Daddy doing for? How are y'all supporting yourselves during that time?
I think that's when he was working for Riddle.
He was working for Riddle Airlines during that time. Okay. While you were waiting
But
to get.
one time, when we were waiting, he went back to Lockheed. And they weren't going to hire him. And he said, but I might leave sometime. But you got a man that's already trained here. Why won't you hire me? And they said, well, we will. So they hired him.
So they hired him back at Lockheed.
For a year.
For a year. Okay. So, and tell me about getting ready to go and going. Well, first of all, tell me about Joel being born. I know he was huge.
He was huge, yes.
What did he weigh?
He weighed 11 pounds, 7 ounces.
Yep.
And,
You told me that when he was laying there in the
incubator at the hospital, 2 women came up to see another child, and they saw him so big, and they said, I'd like to see that mother. And I said, well, here I am. So they were sharing. They said, oh, how did you do it? And I said, well, I did it natural.
Yeah.
What? You did? I said, I told Dr. Turkington, I said, I don't want anything. And he kept coming and asking, you sure you don't want something to... No. I got to see if this is going to work.
So you delivered him naturally, all nearly 12 pounds of him, 11 and a half.